Fitting a rain gauge to the ATS22, be it you want it a drip in or a run off, it's still the same gauge. The gauge itself, let me just bring this up a bit. This is just the outer body, but basically this is the gauge itself. Rain collecting in here. There will be a debris screen which plugs in, and then the underbody, which is where the actual tipper is, like so. So as the rain measures in each there, the magnet passes the sensor in here, and then it measures each time it tips. When putting these into the ATS22, it's the same principle with any other. The cable is a Pancon connector, and the rain is located, this one here. It says rain on it. It's quite hard to see unless you go really close. It's in gold as well, so it kind of shines off the light. So again, you've got several options on the side where you can go in. I wouldn't go right down the bottom because you saw what happened on these side with these two. I would probably take this one here, so flat bladed screwdriver, just undo it. And I've just noticed that there is a cable gland, the nut that secures it, but in this case there is no washer. So this is a perfect example. When you take this plug out, keep the plug, reuse the washer. And you have to be a little bit careful with these connectors because they're on the limit of the size, so just drop that over like that. When you put it through the hole, it is exactly the same width. You can see there, it's no room for error, so you must be very careful putting these through, because if you see the way the cable is into these connectors, it sometimes pushes them out. So just carefully push it in. If you just push it in gently like that, and then it just goes through like that. Again, don't put this in until you've connected it, because it is actually quite close to this block. So on the back of the plug, it's got the little sort of catch which snaps onto there. So just carefully put it onto the pins. The same with all. Once it's in position, just push it down gently and it will click into place. Now this one's a little bit tricky because it's right next to the hole, but when you screw it into place, make sure it's tight, not too tight. Just push it forward a little bit like that, so you're catching the outer cable, and then obviously making sure you have the little rubber grommet in here, which there is one in there. And then when you screw this tight, this will not pull out. It will. It will pull if you pull it hard, but if it was in location installed and anybody pulled it or anything like that, or it got tripped on, it wouldn't pull. They're very tight. Once that's in place, put the battery in. So again, you see the lights come on, starts to go through a sequence. It won't fully do it, I don't think, because it's not on network. Now, before you put the cover in place, so you have it currently, let me just pull this up a bit. So you currently now have the wire connected to the actual tipper mechanism, and obviously the screws on the back of the mechanism are all set per the measurement for the tips, so hence why the paint's there. So if any paint has been removed, it won't be calibrated properly. Once this is all in place, you need to test the tipper to make sure the tipper actually works before you put the body on, and then that's when connecting a tough pad comes into play. So I looking for my jumper now. There it is. So this was from earlier. This is my little jumper. I have it like this because I'm doing this a lot, so you can imagine these are quite fiddly. This goes on to J1 like so. Your USB cable into the USB socket. You'll now see the green light comes on telling you USB is connected, and the yellow is basically looking for a network. I'm in a shipping container, so it might not find it, hence why it starts doing this kind of error. But for demonstration purposes and to see if the tipper works, this will be fine. So now, I don't know if we can just drag my tough pad across. Like so. When you open TerraTerm, serial, the USB has obviously come up 7. Okay, if you maximise that, just put my keyboard up. So you'll see when logging into the ATS22, it will give you these 3 options. We're looking for sensors, so 2, and then we're looking for sensor test, which is T, and then I believe